Okay, let's go over what we've done. In part 1 of this project, we went over 3 different external CSS style sheets. One for small.css, one for medium.css, and one for large.css. In part 2, we did a video that basically went over the index.html landing page. And then part 3, I thought I was going to go over an external JavaScript that allowed us to hover over an image link and play an MP3 file. As it turned out, I didn't actually need the external JavaScript. The code that I put in here in this part 2, the index_html page, did everything I needed. So we forgot about that external JavaScript, and I pointed a few other things out instead. Well, in this video, what I want to do, and I have Chrome and Firefox opened up, I want you to personalize this template so that it makes it a little more fun for you. I've shown you code that depends on the images that I have on my computer in my folders. Well, you need to replace my images with your own that's on your computer and put it in your own folder called box and your own folder called images. So one way that you can do that is if you open an image in Paint and then resize it, you can do that. Crop it and resize it. You want to have it 50 by 50 for your shortcut icon up here. So if I go to Start and open up, where is Paint? Open up Paint. You might already have a square here for whatever size. Click Resize, unclick Maintain Aspect Ratio, and click Pixels. Change whatever those things are for horizontal and vertical to 50 by 50. Click OK. It's automatically going to resize the size that you want. I don't know. I don't think you have to click Save. I guess you could. On the desktop, it's already selected Ping, and I'm going to go on ahead and use that. And I'm going to name this, I don't know, box.ping. Save. There's really nothing in here yet, so I want to create something. It's easy to just use these shapes right here. So maybe I will create, let's see, I already did a red star with a black background. If I do a heart, that's going to be another red thing. Let me see if I can do a letter. So I'm going to click on the A, and I'm going to click in here, and then I'm going to type S, a capital S for Sunday. And then I'm going to move that over a little bit so it's centered. Okay, then I'm going to hit save. So now I have an S in here, but I don't want to just have an S, I want a background color. What background color would I like? I can go to edit colors, and maybe I would like this color, this aqua, whatever it is. Click OK. Now it's chosen for color 1. Click the paint bucket, and then it gives me a surrounding color of that aqua. So I'm going to save it. Okay, so now I have a little icon. That little icon I can put here instead of this star that I made in Paint. And this would be the first. Well, first, before I do that, I have to put it in my folder. Whoops. Here it is on my desktop. But where I need to put it is where my whole project is. And my project is in Documents. If I can open this. Geez, oh man, open. And then it's in Web Pages, and then it's in Audio Navigation, and I want to put it in Images here. So let me move this over a little so my Images folder is showing, and then I'm just going to drag this from my desktop straight to the Images folder where my project is located. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the code. And I'm going to look for this first. Where is my first? Oh, here, Sunday. My first AREF. I'm going to look for down here the image SRC box images star ping, and wow, what did I call it? What did I name it? I named it box. That's strange. But anyway, I named it box. Oops. Box ping. Save it. Refresh the page. And now you see that I have an image link. Whoops. That's totally different. And it's that easy to create a small image link of a 50 by 50 pixel. The same thing, my box.ping, can also go up in here in my shortcut icon. So instead of boxes images star.ping here, I'll just back up the star and type box, refresh the page, and now I have an S there. Now this has to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I can use this S for both the first image link, and I can go down for the last, the one for 7, the one for Friday, and here's the 6.html. That's for Friday. I want Saturday, 7.html. Instead of star.ping, which used to be smile.ping, now it's box.ping. Save it. Okay, so now I've got one for Saturday, one for Sunday, and I just have to do the same thing for all of the other days in between. I don't want to waste time doing that. I just showed you basically how to do it, so it's relatively easy. Or you can make a simple shape with one color on the inside of the shape and a different color on the outside. You can do that. Or you can open any image that you want in Paint and resize it to something smaller and see how that looks for you. That's making those personal changes, but you also want to make this background image change to your personal preference. So let's go down the code until we find that. We changed this. You want to change this to your personal preference, which is the shortcut icon up here. And then you want to change your CSS sheets. You can experiment with those. You see that I've got a certain background color and this color. You can change elements of your small, medium, or large CSS style sheet to make it your personal thing. You can use my styles if you want, but it's more fun to experiment and make your own. So just make minor changes as you go along. Right here, when you get to the style tag, the .8, which is talking about class 8, the background, colon, URL. Mine is in box. In box there's a folder called box. Inside the folder called box there's a folder called images, and inside there I've got ferriswheel.jpg. If I show you again, my project is in documents. Where's web pages? Where the heck is web pages? Here. Oh, I went too fast. I need to open this up more. In web pages, in audio navigation, in box, end images. You see all this stuff I've got in images. I have the smile icon that I started off with, and because Internet Explorer didn't recognize the icon file, I had to open this up in Paint and change it to smile.ping and save it in the same folder. And then after that, in Paint, I created something different, star.ping, just to show you how you can personalize it. And then you just watched me create this S with a blue background in Paint, just so that you can see how to do it yourself. Here's my ferriswheel.jpg file. This is kind of large. If you look at the dimensions in the pop-up box here, 3,264 by 2,248. It would be a good idea for me to take this, open it in Paint, and I could do that. I could right click it, I could click open with Paint, and look how huge that is. I mean, that is really a very large image. I can click this little triangle, save as. I can save it as another JPEG, so I don't have to change the extension. I need to save it in the same place. Downloads. No, not downloads, documents, web pages, audio nav, box, images. Now I'm going to put Ferris wheel 2 because this is going to be a smaller image. I'm going to save the large image in case I want to use something with that quality, but I'm going to make a smaller one and call it Ferris wheel 2, hit save. And now Ferris wheel 2 is showing in Paint. Now I'm going to hit resize. This time I want to maintain the aspect ratio, and let's say I want to make it 25%. Now the image is only that big. Now I save this, and the reason that I do that is starting off with over 3,000 pixels to 800 by 612 means that it will the page will download faster. It'll just speed it up a little bit. So now I have Ferris wheel 2 here. So in order for me to use it, I have to go to this style.8 background Earl box images Ferris wheel and just tack a 2 onto it because it's still a JPEG. I saved it as the same file type. Now when I click this, you can't really tell how fast, but it's making the file size smaller, and it would load faster than something huge like that. Alright, that didn't really show you a difference because it's actually the same image. But if I went back there again, documents, web pages, audio navigation, box, images, maybe I can pick something different. Maybe I can pick the gnome.jpg. Let's see how to spell that. G-N-O-M-E. So go back to the code. Now this is going to be another large file size, but I'm just going to show you that this is where you put whatever background image you want to show in that iframe. So click this. Now I got the little gnome guy. Now one thing that you need to let's see, I guess I don't need to throw too much at you at once, but what happens is there's something about contrast. Background, if the background's dark, then your text or your font that you might have go over top of it, you may want light. If you have a light background, then you want your font to show up as dark. When I click this Sunday page, it doesn't really make a difference with this because this is light with the dark. You can see this okay. This is a note made on 9/26/2016 at 8:48 p.m. But this, hello there sunshine, you can't see that well at all. So what you would have to do in this case is in the 1.html page that's actually being opened right now over top of the iframe with the background image, you would want to change this. Instead of being the color black, you'd want to change it to white or something else brighter, based on the fact that this image is dark and black over green is not easy to see. This part down here doesn't matter too much because it's not It's basically I've already colorized this so that it's got a good contrast. So instead of going in here and page 1.html, 2.html, 3.html and making this change, I think I'm going to go back to the background that I had. Go back to Ferris wheel.jpg. Ferris wheel 2.jpg. Because you see I've got a very light background here, so when I click this, the black text is okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Alright, so in this video I basically am encouraging you to make your own shortcut icons, which will go here, and your own image icons, or also your background image, which will go here, and your image icons, which will go in here at the end of it, right here, and your MP3 files that you will put the name of them down here. Audio ID equals 1. This is an MP3 that you want to have named Sunday.mp3. If you name it barking because it's an MP3 of your dog barking, you may not want to put Sunday.mp3. You may want to put bark.mp3, whatever you name that MP3 as. Or if you want to leave it Sunday, just because you know that's going to go into a page revolving around Sunday, you could just name that Sunday.mp3. However you do it. However you do it, make this template yours, because once you make it yours, it's more interesting to deal with the code. Code without creativity is very boring, very fast. So go on ahead and work on those things, and then the next video I'll deal with 1.html, which is going to be, as soon as you click this icon, it's what's going to open up right here. That'll be the next video, I promise.